Hello everybody, my name's Shelley, I'm from the Ministry of Yoga. I'm here today to share with you a series of short videos about how we can use the breath to balance the nervous system. So the first technique I want to share with you is very simply the mechanics of how we should breathe to promote parasympathetic activity in the body. What I mean by parasympathetic activity is our nervous system is very intricate. To simplify it, we have a strand, which is the fight and flight response, which is our sympathetic nervous system. Imagine it up here, it's going because there's an emergency. Then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is about the rest and repair. So let's imagine it's down here. Now, at this current time, some of us, physically, mentally, and emotionally, are firing on all cylinders with this sympathetic arousal. And this is what we call, it's very catabolic, it's breaking down. And this should only really be used in acute emergencies. And the rest and repair isn't having a chance to actually come into balance. And this is where we want them to be. So today I want to make sure the mechanics of the breathing that we're doing every day is benefiting this balance in the nervous system. So we have got the activation of sympathetic arousal when we need it, because we wouldn't get out of bed without that. But we also want to be able to go into our rest and repair of the parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm going to show you 3 hand positions that we're going to use. You can do this seated or lying down. So I'm going to show you seated first of all, but I'm actually going to take you through the practice lay down, because it's a really nice way to actually feel into the body. The first hand position is going to be the thumbs touching and the index fingers touching. And we're going to rest the index fingers just above the pubic bone, the thumbs towards the navel, and the elbows drop back. So if we lay down, the elbows touch the floor, maybe the hands part a little bit. But basically, your hands are on your abdomen. That's the first position. The second position, you take the hands and you wrap them around your rib cage. So if anyone's wearing a bra, sports bra, it's that area, just along the base of the ribs there. And if I show you from the side, you can see that my thumb is going around the back. It's this action. So that will be our second hand position, like so. Our third hand position is going to be the fingertips, the fingers going towards the collarbone, the upper chest. Again, if we were lay down, the elbows are dropping down. So these 3 hand positions are what we call in yoga mudras, that they take our attention, our awareness to each part of the body. And for this reason, it's taking our attention to how we breathe. So it's not simply just the hands are there. There is an intention behind it. It's helping us breathe better in the body. So what I'd like you to do, feel free to stay seated. If you are seated, try and have your hips higher than your knees. So you can see I'm sat on a bolster. You might want to sit on a chair. That's not a problem. You could do this standing. If you are sat or standing, just make sure your spine is nice and long, that you can feel the space front, back and sides. And it isn't an effort to be here. And I'm conscious it took me a very, very long time to be able to sit in a position like this. So sitting on a chair with a nice long spine with natural curves is great. If you have the space and you're able to do this, I invite you to follow me and come down to lie down on the floor. So I'm just going to transition. I'm going to move this bolster. Hopefully that's out the way now. There we go. So I had a sneaky block behind me. I'm going to use that for my head. The videos in the future that you may watch, there's more of a reason to this. But what basically happens is that block is going to help me just to ever so slightly tuck my chin to keep the back of the neck longer. So I'm going to release back nice and gently because there's no rush. And I'm going to make sure my block is underneath my head. So in this position, we call this constructive rest pose, sometimes semi-supine. So my feet are hip width apart, which means they're in line with my knees, in line with my hips. And with the knees bent, we're allowing a gentle tilt in the pelvis so that the lower back isn't compressed. My arms are down by the side of the body and the palms are facing up. Feel free to close your eyes. So with your eyes closed, just take a moment to check in with your breathing. Try not to overanalyze. Try not to force the breath in any way. Just notice right now, how are you breathing? Maybe noticing the length of each breath, noticing the depth of each breath, maybe noticing if there's a difference between the inhale and the exhale, maybe noticing how the body is moving in response to the inhale and the exhale. Observing your breath is an incredible practice to do to help you check in with your body physically, to check in with the mind mentally, and also checking in emotionally. Because the breath tells you so much about how the systems of your body are running, the quality of the thoughts, which lead to those emotions which right now could be quite distracting. So our first practice is going to be abdominal breathing. So what I'd like you to do is take the hands in that position. I'm just going to turn my hands towards you, thumb, index fingers touching. And now we lay them on the abdomen. Index fingers towards the pubic bone, thumbs towards the navel. Let those elbows drop down, let the shoulders relax. If the hands have to part a little bit, that's okay. So the hands are taking our attention into our abdomen. As you inhale, let your belly expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, allow your belly to gently drop back towards the ground. Each inhale, you'll feel the abdomen gently pressing into your hands. And as you exhale, noticing how the abdomen gently drops down. So I want you to take the next 30 seconds to see if this is happening. The inhale, the expansion of the abdomen. And the exhale, the release of the abdomen as it drops back towards the floor. The inhale, the expansion of the abdomen. And the exhale, the abdomen gently dropping back down. Now, you might not be breathing at the same rate as me because we all breathe differently. All you have to remember is on the inhale, the belly gets big like a balloon. It pushes the hands away. And on the exhale, it's like the balloon is deflating and it gently drops. So if you find this is happening quite naturally, then just carry on with this. Keep your attention in the area of the abdomen. Some of you might be noticing some different things. So if you're noticing that you're doing the reverse of this, that as you breathe in, your belly is sucking down, and as you breathe out, your belly is pushing out, this is called reverse breathing. And this happens a lot when the body is overstressed, when we're anxious. So what I invite you to do is to bring your attention into your hands, and as you breathe in, push that belly out into the hands, not too forceful. And then as you exhale, maybe a little bit more conscious effort to draw it back down. So if you're in this group where we reverse breathe, then it's just a bit more of a conscious effort on the inhale to really feel the belly pushing into the hands. And as you exhale, let the belly drop. And as soon as you've got that sensation, try and take the forceful effort away. And so it's more of an invitation that you're inviting the abdomen to expand on the inhale and drop in on the exhale. There may be some of you where the abdomen just isn't moving. In the world that we live today, we're told that the abdomen should be flat and hard and rigid and shouldn't really move. Our clothes restrict this. And we especially see this in people who are perfectionists, high achievers. And right now we're all trying to be high achievers in what we're doing. We're trying to make the best of this situation. So if the abdomen isn't moving, same as before, as you inhale, just let the belly press into your hands. And as you exhale, allow the belly to gently drop. So let's take one more minute. As you inhale, belly expanding. Exhale, releasing. Really good. So stay with this abdominal breathing. Such an important way of breathing. If you're not exercising, if you are not in a genuine emergency, this is how you should be breathing. So for most of us, that's probably about 22, 23 hours of the day. But I'm conscious that the current climate we're living, our nervous system doesn't understand what's going on. It's just living on evolutionary terms. So we need to, it's a little bit of a bypass really of our nervous system, a hijack, to make it realize it's okay. So that's really good, guys. What I want you to do now is bring your hands around your rib cage. So your palms are facing down towards your thighs, towards your feet. The thumbs around the side of the rib cage. Elbows are out to the side. Let the shoulders relax. You could let the fingers spread out. Try not to have too much tension. So as you inhale, the belly and the rib cage expand front, back, and sides. And as you exhale, the rib cage and the abdomen release. So each inhale now, we know about the abdomen, but we can feel the rib cage expanding front, back, and sides. And as we exhale, the rib cage and the abdomen gently release. So now we've got 2 points of reference. As you inhale, abdomen, rib cage expand. Exhale, release. So this hand position really helps us not just notice the forward lifting of the rib cage, but the side to side and the back of the rib cage pressing into the ground. Let's just take about another 20, 30 seconds here. Inhale, abdomen, rib cage expanding. Exhale, rib cage, abdomen release. Again, you might not be breathing at the same point as me, but you still know now that on the inhale, it's expansion, lifting, broadening, opening in all directions. And on the exhale, everything just relaxes back towards the floor. Do one more of the abdomen, the rib cage. So now I invite you to bring your fingertips towards your collarbones. Rest your hands on the upper chest. Again, keep those elbows down nice and soft. There won't be as much movement up here. But as you inhale, the abdomen, the rib cage, the collarbones gently lift and broaden. And as you exhale, everything releases. Collarbone, rib cage, abdomen. Full yogic breath. Inhale, abdomen, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, abdomen. So it's like a wave of the breath comes from the base of the pelvis all the way up to the base of the throat, expanding front, back, and sides. Exhaling and releasing. Just take a few more of these full breaths. I invite you now to release the hands into whichever position felt good for you. Maybe the hands just come back to the side of the body, palms facing up. Maybe it's that first position, the hands on the belly, the abdomen. Maybe the hands around the rib cage. Maybe the fingertips stay towards the collarbones. I personally love the hands on the abdomen. So I just want you to take the last 30 seconds exploring this 3-part yogic breath. Each inhale, feeling your whole torso expanding, making space for your lungs to fill up. And on the exhale, that gentle release. A few more full breaths. Everybody, one more breath. Deep inhale, abdomen, ribcage, collarbones. Expanding, and on the exhale, let them all release nice and slowly. So very gently releasing the hands if they're on the abdomen. Bring the knees in towards the chest. If you're sat on your chair, just stay where you are. Feel free to do some little movements. I'm rocking my hips from side to side. Because I'm laid down, I'm going to roll onto my right-hand side just for a moment. If you're at your chair or standing, just stay where you are. And then gently bring yourself up. So if you're sat on your chair and your eyes are closed, just gently flutter the eyelids open. Oh. So that is the 3-part yogic breath: abdomen, rib cage, collarbones. The current health situation we're in is very much about the respiratory system. So when we breathe fully in this way, we're inviting oxygen, prana, energy. That's our life force. That's what we call it in yoga. We're also bringing movement into the muscles, the connective tissues, which means they're being nourished. The membranes, the connective tissue are moving. They are being lubricated. So these full breaths are really important on a mechanical level, but for your nervous system, if you're breathing like this, you are telling your nervous system that everything's okay. That means the parasympathetic nervous system will start to become more dominant, and hopefully from being down here, come into a place of balance, allowing you to feel in a place of rest and repair. If you're not used to breathing like this, you may feel a little bit dizzy because you are increasing the amount of oxygen coming into the body. So maybe just take your time, but it's a beautiful practice, and just that 15 minutes then has transformed how I feel. So let us know how this has gone for you. Feel free to email us at the Ministry of Yoga or send us a comment on the Facebook page. If you want any more guidance, please feel to ask me. My name is Shelley. I do yoga therapy for stress, anxiety, and PTSD, and I can give you more information on this. But I look forward for you to watch the next videos in this series. Have a beautiful day. Thank you very much.